Alright guys, first of all, and honestly I don't really care if you don't agree with me on this one, I think Contra Hard Corps is just the best shoot 'em up game that was ever made. Or I don't want to say this, just the best, if not well then one of the best games that was ever made. Seriously, it was that good. I mean, it's the year 2641 and an elite team of commandos called Hard Corps has been assembled to stop a post-apocalyptic war due to just hacking infiltrations. Here's a question: in what video game other than this you get to play as a wolf-like humanoid with both cybergenetic arms or a small robot capable of hovering? Look. Coming up next, see, beyond Oasis, well actually known in Europe and Japan as the Story of Thor, an action-adventure game developed by Ancient and published by Sega for the Sega Genesis only. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say this with confidence, guys. This over here is the most underrated game of all time. This game was actually a pain at times, I do admit, but eventually paid 10 times worth the trouble, and it still brings me tears when I even hear just the music out of this masterpiece. Ancient, Sega, please give us a remake or something. A true classic, worth playing whether you have played the game before or not, and an amazing soundtrack. Personally, I actually played Final Fantasy VI many times, and just hate me if you have to, but this game's just hands down the best Final Fantasy game in every Final Fantasy way there could be. Like, you don't want to play the game? Fine, just go get the soundtracks of the game and you'll still be pretty happy with it. Shout out to Square Enix for doing the remastered version of this game on Steam just a few months ago. Play this game, guys, you will not regret it. Coming up behind that, it's, well, the Shinobi series. The latest of which, well, then made it around 10 years ago as a 3DS game, but nothing even close to how good this series was when they came out with Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. What I have reason to believe one of the absolute best games on Genesis. Excellent soundtrack, I don't care, I will go the extra mile to call this the greatest game of all time if I have to. Honestly, play this game, guys. If you haven't yet, I hope they do come up with some sort of a remake or a remaster somewhere, sometime. Easy 12 out of 10, right over here. Moving on. Coming up at number 5, I think this might just be the best looking Konami game on the Super Nintendo console. This is The Adventures of Batman and Robin. What well, for the most part is an action-adventure platformer, but a run and gun where both Batman and Robin must stop Mr. Freeze in the Genesis version though. God, this game's actually hard, but boy does it pay you well throughout the whole game with content like music. The music is something you'll find nowhere else on this planet, just the art style, Did I mention the music is good? Moving on, it's Rocket Knight Adventures, a 1993 platform game developed and published by Konami, and without hesitation actually the hardest game I've ever played in my whole life. Why? Well, you just have to beat the game in even harder difficulties to be able to actually achieve true ending in this game, as if it isn't really hard enough in normal difficulty, believe me when I tell you. This game is also probably a masterpiece as well on the Genesis. The platforming in the game is insanely smooth, the music is divine, and the story itself, wow. Coming up behind that, it's Comix Zone. Mainly one of the best games in terms of gameplay, drawing style, the sketch turner, the storyline, god, the monsters, just probably the most unique sort of beat 'em up game you'd ever get to play back in the day. So Comix Zone is actually set within the panels of a comic book. Literally the whole game takes place within a comic book. It is actually difficult, but once you actually get the hang of it, you could finish the game under some like 15 minutes. It's a damn masterpiece over here.
I'm drowning!
Now, talk about beat 'em ups. We've got the Golden Axe, which even made it up until not too long ago, around 2008, by the latest entry going by Beast Rider, which was a disaster of a game. Nonetheless, one of the greatest of all time when it comes to old school classics. Golden Axe 3 specifically was one that actually let me down tremendously as a kid when I couldn't play as the old man using his Golden Axe after you actually beat the game, but still, this game is actually highly underrated and easily the best game in the series as well. Oh. See, on the other hand, we have Super Mario World by Nintendo, obviously. To me, at least, the most amazing Mario game to date. One that was actually also released on Sega Genesis. As in case you somehow actually missed out on this thing, which is unforgivable, sort of. This game follows Mario's quest to save Princess Toadstool and Dinosaur Land from Bowser and his minions. Talk about Easter eggs, secrets, different endings and diversity. Super Mario World was literally the king of them all if we're talking 90s. Alright guys, I'm gonna just go ahead and call it right over here. To me, personally, this is hands down the most amazing Sega Genesis game that was ever created. See, back in the day, Light Crusader, if it even made a return today, could actually turn into a freaking masterpiece of a game in any damn genre. Make it be. See, Treasure, the company behind the game, made Light Crusader perfect in every single element there was. The music, the gameplay, creativity, the plot, the puzzles, combat, bosses, dude, the graphics. Guys, at Treasure Company, if you still exist, where is the remake of this game? I'm still waiting. 25 years later, please. Now, Echo the Dolphin, technically speaking, well, an action-adventure game for Sega Genesis and published by Sega in 1992 was, well, the thing about Echo the Dolphin, the game over here, why it even made it in today's list is Echo is a kind of game that is known for being super unique in probably every way there is. Especially gameplay though, which was super, one could even say it was unfair. Echo, even to this day, has been one of the most mysterious games games of all time, and it even talks about extraterrestrials, something you just wouldn't really get a hang of back in the day in video games, or I don't know, see? Once again, one of the greatest games ever made for the Sega Genesis. Technically speaking, Treasure, the company, really know how to make a game. Like seriously, I can't for the life of me find a reason why the company just vanished. See, Gunstar Heroes was a run-and-gun shooter originally released on the Sega Genesis in 1993. This game has some smooth as silk controls, some great music, one that actually made so well I personally couldn't think of a reason to make it better.
Rise from your grave.
Coming up behind that, it is the one and only Altered Beast, 1988, or our oldest contestant today. A super trippy fun little adventure. Literally, you could finish the game in just 10-minute run, if you were good at it though. This game in many ways was a staple of my own childhood. I'm pretty sure some of you as well. It's a classic, done as a single player experience, even made by the same guy who was responsible for Golden Axe games. Check it out.
Welcome to your doom.
Moving on, it's Alien Storm. From all the way back 1990s by Sega. Well, as you can see, an arcade game at its finest when it comes to innovation. This game was actually pretty solid. It's something as if you were to take Golden Axe games and give it a dash of alien invasion and some futuristic elements. Honestly, once a while for some reason I just find myself craving this game. Maybe it's the memories or just the gameplay, which is pretty smooth, solid, both simple and difficult, and definitely worth a few playthroughs at least. And last but not least, it's the Super Double Dragon. Actually, Techno's final mainline entry in their acclaimed Double Dragon series from all the way back in 1992. Something if I didn't have a beefed up PC today, I would probably still be playing now. With that said though, the Double Dragon series is without saying one of the most addictive and unique fighting games of all time, and they usually make up for a non-stop nostalgia fun. This one over here is a brief look at how the game actually works. Thank you guys for watching.